Ladies and gentlemen, it's wash day. There's a thumbnail somewhere in there, I'm sure. Okay, so I hate washing my hair, but I gotta get it done, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to walk around with a dirty mop on their head. But I figured while I wash my hair to keep myself entertained, I would come on here and tell you guys a story. So this probably happened sometime in 2019, but when I was in Maryland, I kind of told my cousin part of the story, and it just reminded me how funny it was. So I thought I'd share it with you guys. So basically, let me pull up the receipts. Okay, so when I was younger, I was really into acting. I was in theater in high school. I did a lot of like casting calls and things like that for film acting. It was like what I wanted to be when I grew up. So sometimes I'll go on the website I used to use and apply for acting jobs. Sometimes it's just extra roles, but just to see what I get. Most of the time it's nothing, because I always see it last minute, and then by then they've already hired their people. But this one time, I got an email from a Mr. John Patel from Balenciaga saying they needed models in Atlanta. Okay, I have the hair mask in right now, so I'll be here for a couple minutes. But basically, where do we leave off? So I'm really excited about this amazing job opportunity that I have to work with Balenciaga. It's a 3-day shoot. It's pretty good pay. It's right up the street from like it's in Atlanta, so it's not like I have to go anywhere. Because a lot of times when I do projects, it might be on the outskirts of Atlanta, so it's like it was just perfect. Like everything was coming together. And then I get this email. He's basically telling me that he's gonna give me the money for my travel accommodations, and then I have to give that money to the travel agent guy that works for their company. So that's when I got upset, because that's when I realized this is obviously a scam. Because why would you send me a check for $2,800 and then tell me I have to give part of that to your guy? Why not send his portion to him? And then I'm supposed to get the rest of my money like after. Like it didn't make any sense. So I'm like, okay. I was already skeptical, so I didn't have this sent to my address. I had it sent to a P.O. box, which was a problem in its own because I don't have a P.O. box, so I had to create a P.O. box. And they said that I could use my student ID and my government issued ID as 2 forms of ID. But when I got there, they were like, oh no, this doesn't count as a form of ID, so you have to do something else. And I'm like, well, that's not what it said online. She's like, well, I don't care, essentially. And so then I got upset because I'm like, I waited like 30 minutes in this line for you to tell me that I can't get a stupid P.O. box. It's a P.O. box. I don't understand what people do with the P.O. box that is so like, you have to have all this forms of ID and specific verification, whatever. So then I get the notification that the check has arrived. So I go back to the P.O. box and I'm standing like at the little window, because obviously I don't have my own box with a key. So I'm standing at the window saying that this has arrived here and I would like it, please. And the guy is basically saying that he sees in the system that it's here, but he does not see it in their area back there. So I was standing, first of all, I was standing in line for like 45 minutes. Then I was standing there with that guy for another like 30, 45 minutes trying to get this stupid check that I already know at this point is a scam. So I'm like, I don't even know why I'm wasting my time. Finally, I get the check though. And he tells me, well, actually, let me go back, because that day, this man was pressed. When I say pressed, he was pressed. He messages me this morning and he was like, just want to make sure you got the email I sent you. And I'm like, yeah, I got the email you sent me. Calm down. I was responding right now. I'll let you know as soon as I get the check. He was like, okay. Then he texted me that afternoon when the check was arrived, and he said, just check the tracker. The check has been in your mailbox. ... Okay, calm down, my G. Calm down. I'm like, yeah, okay, I just got the text. I'm in traffic. Good. I'll be expecting a deposit slip once done. Well, he spelled once wrong. He wrote one, but I assume he meant once. Which was annoying in itself, because why are you pressed? So he was pressed, and then I was pressed to leave because the UPS people could not find this thing. So I was honestly just about to dip. But then they found it, and I got the check, and it said, $2,850, like he said. And I deposited it, and I sent him a copy of, because I did a mobile deposit, so I sent him a copy of that. And then then we're having this conversation, and he's basically telling me he'll provide me with the information from the travel agent as soon as, so you know where to send the funds or whatever. And he said, I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Sorry for the late. And then the next morning I get this email from my bank. Okay, it's been 5 minutes, so I need to rinse this mask off, and then I'll come back and tell y'all the rest of the story. So I asked him if I should just book all this stuff myself, because it didn't make sense to me that I'm getting the money to give to some guy to book it. So I was like, should I just go ahead and book the room for the 3 nights since the person is still out of the office? And that's when he said, I'll provide the guy who you're going to send the funds to, talk to you by 9 a.m. tomorrow. Sorry for the late response and what deposit, whatever, just being pressed again. So then in the morning, I think he tried to calm it down. So he was like, good morning, how are you today? I was like, great, how are you? And then he's like, all right, down to business. So are the funds there? And how much is available as of now? I said, no, the funds said they won't be here till Friday. He said, oh, good. You can send the funds first thing in the morning so you could fly out later in the day. I said, okay. Still playing along, because at this point I know you're finessing me, which hurts. I said, okay, so where am I sending the money? And how much am I supposed to send them? He's like, I'll get that to you as soon as possible. Okay, bro. So then, that's when I get this email. Basically, my bank telling me that this is a fraudulent check, and you're not going to get any of the money from this check because there's no money in the account that the check came from. And he was like, do you have another account that you could send the money to? Now, why would I send the money to another account if my bank just told me that? What? You sound foolish. I said, I don't think it's an issue with the account, more so with the check itself. I said, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. So I said, yeah, there's only one other time I've had trouble depositing a check to this account, but that time was a scam. ... Maybe it would be easier for you guys to pay the travel agent directly. Then just send me the hotel confirmation number when it's booked. He said, I will see if that works for them, and I'll get back to you soon. Perfect, I said, anticipating your response. Thanks. Then the next morning, we're all buddy again. Hi, good morning, all that fun stuff. He tells me the shoot is now postponed to the weekend of the 14th. Will you be available then? Why are we postponing this fake shoot? I didn't understand that strategic move, but he said, can you cover the amount for the check you got, excluding the $500, which I think the $500 was supposed to be my like per diem for meals and stuff, and then I'll go ahead and get reimbursed. So basically he's asking me if I have $1,000 to $2,000. I said, okay. No, I'm not gonna give this man any money. Spoiler alert. I said, okay, so I should just go ahead and book the room then, and I'll be reimbursed before check-in. He was like, yes, you'll be reimbursed, but you'll be sending the funds to the designated travel agent. Why would I do that? Like, wouldn't it just make sense for you to let me book the room? If you're gonna reimburse me, then I might as well. Why have a middleman who's not available? Because you said he's been out of the office for the past, now we're going on 3 weeks, so he's not available. We have this middleman for no reason who has to book this, but yet you guys can't give him the money. You have to give me the money. So, you know, like I said, at this point, I'm just trolling this guy. So I'm like, okay, great. Yeah, I'll totally do that. And then they'll take care of all the booking and stuff. And then I'll need a rental car too. And they'll be able to do that, right? He's like, yes. How much can you raise? I'm like, raise? Like a fundraiser? What does that even mean? Why does he keep saying raise? It's like, LOL, no. Do you have a Zelle? So he texts me at 10:11. And he asked me if I have Zelle. At 10:21, 10 minutes later, I have a life, you know. I can't just sit here and text you all day. He goes, are you there? I said, I'm currently at work, so unfortunately, I don't have the unlimited flexibility to respond. I can only pick up my phone every now and then. I have an online bank. Zelle doesn't work through them yet, so to transfer money, I typically use Cash App or Venmo. Oh, okay. That'll work. Which I gave him 2 options, so I was like, which one will work? He's like, I'll provide the Venmo account so you can send it to the travel agent, ... You will be sending the funds in a bit. Will I? Is that what I'll be doing? Okay. Thanks for telling me. You will be sending $1,000 via Venmo and send a copy of the receipt. Before I will instruct on what to do with the other $1,000. Do you understand? Is this a secret agent mission? Why is he talking to me like this? Do you understand? This is what you will do. I said, yeah, I can read. LOL. But question, I have a shoot in South Africa before this. Now that we've changed it to the new weekend, I'm going to need a flight from Cape Town to Atlanta. $2,000 is going to cover that and the hotel and the Uber. I'm not sure if this is something you guys can work with or not. At this point, this is a regular shoot in Atlanta. You know how many people they could have gotten in Atlanta? So now you're telling me you're going to pay for my travel too? How pressed do you sound? Like, if you're going to be a scam, at least don't come up so pressed, you know? Try to just stay within your area. There's a million people to scam in Atlanta. Not saying that you should continue to scam people, but just, like, be smarter about it. Like, this is so stupid. So he was like, yeah, they can schedule a flight for you from Cape Town to Atlanta. Oh, yeah, all right. And I looked up the flights. It's more than $2,000. So I'm like, perfect. Yes, I'm still available. When will you have the Venmo information? He said, once you send the $2,000, we will see what that can cover. Which doesn't make sense because you should just see what that can cover now. You can go online and see how much it'll cost. But again, I guess the travel agent guy is out of town. So, and then he's waiting on them to send me the information. So then I'm like, wait a second. I'm engaging so hard with this guy, it's ridiculous. But you do have to understand that my job is kind of boring, so it's been giving me something to do for that week. So wait a minute, so you're saying you might not be able to cover the flight? Because they have me scheduled to leave the next Monday. So I'll miss the shoot if you guys are unable to cover the flight, hotel, and the Uber. Let me know first, beforehand. That way we won't have an issue like with the other check where the money isn't transferring. I know you guys are probably very busy, and I would hate to waste your time. Mastermind. How do you scam a scammer? That it should be able to cover it. Once again, not giving me any real confirmation. And obviously not looking up how much a flight is because it definitely won't cover it. He said, please send the first $1,000, and he sent me the Venmo information. And then he said, waiting on the receipt from the transfer. So he asked me to send the money at 11:43. And then at 11:44, he said, waiting on the receipt for the transfer. So I send him a message back. Since they're obviously not trying to do the grunt work, they honestly should hire me as their travel guide because I'm a lot better than this guy. I said, so I looked into it. The flight is going to be over $1,000 plus the hotel, $1,800, and the Uber. I want to make sure everything gets booked in advance before they sell out. I'll go ahead and send the extra if I need to because I know it'll be reimbursed. But I just want to make sure the company is okay with spending that kind of money. If so, I can just send over $3,000, which should cover everything. He said, yeah, this is okay with the company. And please go ahead and send the first $1,000 to the Venmo account above. How nice of the company to allow me to give them $3,000 of my money. They're just so selfless. So I said, okay, perfect. I can just send the full $3,000 now if you want. He said, understood, but please send the $1,000 first. Because I guess they need to separate it amongst other Venmos. So he sent that at 12:26. At 1, okay, yeah, this was about an hour past. He said, are you still there? I said, hey, got busy sending it now. So I sent that at 1:55. And to play along, I texted him back before he could text me. So at 2:25, about 30 minutes later, I said, did you get it? He didn't respond. So the next afternoon, I texted him. I said, good afternoon, just following up to make sure you got the Venmo. No response. So then the next day, I didn't think I was going to get a response from him at this point. I was like, he understands that I'm like finessing him and he's moved on to his next victim. But that's not what happened at all. He came back. He said, good morning. This is 2 days after I told him I sent him the Venmo. Good morning. No, I did not get the receipt for the transfer. And then it was like a voice message received thing. But I was not finna open that. Because that could have hacked my whole phone. That's why it took him 2 days to respond, because he was getting this hack thing together. So I didn't open that. And then he said, send the receipt again. At this point, I was done with him. It wasn't fun anymore. I was like, so I just never responded. But at the time being, it was quite entertaining. I have a diffuser head for this, and I've never used a diffuser, and I kind of want to try it and see what happens. Because it seems like it works well. So I'll be right back. Okay, honestly, not bad. It's still wet, so I don't know what it's gonna look like when it fully dries, but I didn't feel like, I got lazy, honestly. But anywho, moral of the story, don't get scammed out there, guys. Just try to keep your eyes alert, you know. Don't give out any money to people just randomly. I had 2 friends try to scam me, so this scammer, honestly, he walked into an unfortunate situation. Because you can't take my money. That's how that goes. I'm not gonna allow you to scam me out of my money. So yeah, it was a fun time though, a good laugh. Me and my boyfriend, I was sending him screenshots, so we were laughing about it. I think at the end of the day, everybody wins. Mr. John learned a lesson about trying to scam me, and I had a good laugh. So that's the moral of the story. I'm gonna maybe twist my hair out, try to do something to it, because I have a feeling this is not going to dry how I want it to dry. Maybe I'll finish diffusing it. Who knows? Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, hopefully, I'll see you next time.